freezes it back home.
Hi guys, I hope this is working. And so let's check on your chat. Hello folks, how are you guys doing? I'm going to be on. This is going to be an interesting broadcast. And so I'm glad everybody's doing well. um, all I got to do is get on my own show and it should work. Yay, okay, great. Um, so today we're going to do some interesting stuff and I'm going to share some information that I got recently. So I want to thank everybody for showing up on this 28th season of the 7th episode of the Kartron Experience. And this is the Amalgamation, the Alchemy of Amalgamation. And this thing is getting ready to be very interesting on this planet. And that's why we're doing this alchemy season, because I don't think humanity has an idea on what's about ready to occur. Just this morning, I got that time itself is about ready to unravel. And that means humanity, which is wrapped up in all time as money and everything, is about ready to lose its cookies. And so, and so, what's going to happen is that, I'll read to you what I did. So, can you guys hear me? Okay, is everything great? Oh, who's getting okay? So. Life is good. It's weird to be able to explain this stuff. Yeah, I should have really good, quick. Um, I don't know what it is, but YouTube now has only a 3-second buffer. And it's like, whatever they did is great. Facebook can't even get it. It's like a dyslexic broadcast if you turn the camera around. Excuse me, Mr. Zuckerberg, can you please take time out of making $70 billion and actually fix your own software? Because it's like, God damn it. And so there's a retardedness going on the corporate level and the billionaire level, and pretty soon the people aren't going to take it anymore. And so those who've been a part of these broadcasts, you realize that we're actually doing these things because it's time to design the new life that you guys are about ready to have. And this means that having the capacities of yourselves that are way beyond a human. Time is money, human body, and all that stuff. As you know, we've been since halfway last year designing your new earth body and newer self. You got to have all your dimensions and all your capacities going. The alchemy of this month, now here we are, as we've taken all that bunched up threads from 1967 to now, the 51-year cycle now completing with Chiron, and the final degree of the astrological sign, the age of revolution, is now up in your face again. And so, if we don't actually keep going to the higher levels, then we will probably become a historical glyph on some cave of some nameless legend. And so, humanity is right here at that point, once again, where shit could really hit the fan. And so people need to really start looking at what is appropriate for them and what isn't anymore. Because how many of you feel like you are still compromising yourself on behalf of others? Or you're not valued, or there's bullshit going on. Everybody's telling you what to do because they see you from their little tiny movie. Might as well get that little projector to see the Disney vacation that they can't have because your ass is fucking on the way, right? And they get jealous and envious and all the crap's coming up. Guys, there's so much stuff going on. Everybody's crap's coming up. This is the subterfuge that has sabotaged humanity since for 13,000 years. There's no hiding it. If a billionaire has created wars and has a lot of indigenous blood on his hands, that stuff's coming up right now. And so these guys are freaking out a little bit because pretty soon they're starting to feel the ineptitudes and the ramifications of their actions. All these children in the mental institutions and things like that, they've got broken psychology because the system is designed basically to do that. You heal every child in a mental institution and they will stop you because they make so much money per bed. Is that a proper way to be? And so you have a medical industry that says, hey, we're going to heal you. Down here, they're not about health and healing. They're about death and dying and how much they can get out of you. Please prove me wrong. And so we are faced with this ineptitude of fraud and illicit deception and illusion and all this stuff that's playing games. And I'm telling you guys, what I've seen the last day or so, there won't be time pretty soon. Remember I said I was going to go through this whole quantum thing and the reset and all that? And it's like, wow, because the rumors that I'm hearing don't sound true. But there are certain things that are showing up, and I'm going to keep you guys posted. And guys, I don't know if you can see me. Hello? Hi? Let's see if you're on. You guys stayed on. Thank you so much because this broadcast can still continue. Are you freaking kidding me? This commercial break brought to you by Verizon's Stupidity Council because the camera just shut off. I swear. So, can you guys see me now? No, I didn't get a phone call. It just shut off. And so, I'm going to read to you what I wrote in the last 15 minutes. Okay, good. So, I'll just keep watching it. And then Kartron's going to come through and he's going to do the process of taking the bunched up threads of all these opposites that we've been through for 51 years, and all this thread of, like, you have military consciousness and love and spirituality and density and profit, and all these opposites are all bunched together in the last moment. And so all of this tempered our spirit and our beings, right? So we have all these opposite turd heads in our lives. Well, it's going to change our character and get us more ready to be who we truly are. No wonder there's confusion for everybody. And so this unthreading has been happening. Remember, about a week ago or so, we called upon the three fates: Clotho, Lechekis, and Atropo. The one that creates life, gives you the cloth of the body. Lechekis, which is actually that which measures the thread of life. And then Atropo, which snips the life and you experience death. It was these three fates that were brought in because it's time to literally, we brought them in. Remember, Kartron brought them in because it's time for them to unthread the confusion from the threads that have been together so that we can actually be available, so that we can start connecting in with our own soul families and stuff and not be bunched up with the turd heads down on 5th Street or whatever. So it's a big, interesting conglomeration right now. So what we've done is we have Kartron can explain this, is we've in the unthreading of it, now it's time for the amalgamation. So this alchemy phase of this paid broadcast is for amalgamating and the alchemy that goes on with it. And he'll explain what that is, which is pretty divinely intense. And so I'm going to just read to you what I wrote. And this is what's going to happen, because in this fundamental disconnection and termination of the hologram, of this life on Earth, this experiment, this material world, in the shutting down process, here's one of the things that you're going to look at. The time will soon come when there will be a review of our lives. It will be to see what no longer serves us, what no longer vibes with us, what we are complete with, and is not held in balance. This will be about if we are being honored by others or if we are honoring others. Are people keeping their agreements, or are you receiving too much responsibility, have too much to do, and there's no longer a balance in the arrangement? As this is happening on a personal level, something else is happening. An unraveling of reality like you've never seen before. There will be a fundamental change, even to the point of losing your mind that is connected to time, your identities, and all that stuff. And so a new reference needs to be created, because I realize that time is money is about ready to go out the window of all that profit margin, because I don't know if you guys know, but that was designed deliberately to keep us out of sync with the procession of the heavens, the true chronology of the universe. This clock of the universe is 28,000 years long. Each sign is 2,000 years wide. And so they threw us off and did time is money. Pope Gregory, the Gregorian calendar, was designed to be so designed so that the church would know when to collect money. So it took us off the lunar cycle and all that other stuff. That's why the Mayans were so bent on this other thing. And so we're going to be getting back to that. But all of society is basically based on time is money. And so imagine if that went away now, right? Basically, everybody would be screwed because they wouldn't know what to do. They'd be like, so there's going to be a change, right? From the linear time, hurry up, I'm late for everything, it's all your fault, blah, 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 right? Of what is not, of this linear, you're never going to be enough, you're going to grow old, hurry up, you're getting older, it's going to be late, you're going to die now. To the point of the eternal now that's going to expand to prepare us to have the perfection of the eternal moment in that divine now forever in the new earth. But there's a big gap between that, right? Yes. So how are we going to do that? Well, that's what we designed. And we're thinking about doing that on Darius if I can get my act together so I can have 200,000 more of our closest friends show up on his network. And that'll be on March 6th. Be nice, stay on, thank you, phone. And so I'll talk to later. Kartron's going to come through and he's going to work on the alchemy of bringing together the vibrations which belong to each other, not the ones in the opposite crap heads, right? Oh, I love you, you know, that let me just marry the opposite thing to my existence. And get to the point where we can be with soul family again. The ones who not only don't stop you, critique you, judge you, and everything else, but ones who are there to support you in life, to help you achieve, to be successful. You lead by encouraging others to be the leader. That's the dimension that we are going to. So let's do this, guys. Kartron will come through. What? No phone? Oh, that freaking phone call came off. Excuse me. You're going to be suspended, young man. And so this glitch in the matrix of the technology is a small example of what's getting ready to happen. If I told you about what they're getting ready to do with economics, if this is true, everything you know is about to change. To the point where all those threats of this reset and everything, and in fact, this martial law thing was the thing that could then allow for this other thing. You've heard all these rumors, so I don't want to be this diatribe guy that's blamed for saying, oh, yeah, but in what I'm getting on the inner matrix, inner recordings is like, whoa. So in this, all these people that invested in currencies and stuff, I mean, in a phone call that I heard yesterday, it's like, oh, this guy was not acting. And he was a banker who's connected with those major interests who did a conference call. So just know that if you guys aren't at that place, now this is about humanitarian projects. This is about if you're going to do things for humanity on a local level, for your family, for your immediate family, for your extended family. If you're going to do things humanitarian, meaning that which is going to be benefiting humanity, creating jobs and things like that on a long-term level. It'll be happening on a community level, an international, and a national level, and a global level. Are you going to be helping with the infrastructure? What is your bio? What are your projects and things like that? Those are the things that these investment firms are going to start looking at, where it's actually going to be there. If you're going to do the job to help humanity get to a better way, then they're going to be able to release these assets if this is the case. So if you guys don't have that, which most of you probably don't, that's what I'm looking at having, and then I'm going to need a lot of help. And so you guys might be hired by me if this shit happens the way it's supposed to. And so if you miss the boat or think that you don't have something, because I mean, that's a lot of planning. You got to be ready to make it sound like you know what you're talking about. Just know that you basically would become a transmitter of the assets for this dream project or project series that you're doing, where everything that people are threatening to do good work on the planet could start actually getting funded. So hopefully, please let this work. So all these things, all these little media stints and crap and everything, you got a reality show that's pretending like the White House is its next stage, right? Are just these all little dances. And it's like, but there's all these other things going on which really don't make sense. And everything that I found, and I was just having a conversation today with a representative of the Universal World Court, is that everybody thinks that their finger is the one on the trigger that's going to save the world. And so we're still trying to figure that out. But let's just say that there are things of substance that are amidst all of this. So that's what's going on, right? Imagine getting paid for being in the dream that you were signed up to do, and you're making so much, you're getting paid so well that, you know, that's all, everything's good, all right, everything's taken care of. And they're even talking about you could sign for a car or a house or whatever. But then again, it's just hearsay unless you have proof. So I'm going to shut up now, and Kartron's going to come through and erase your memory that I just had this conversation with you. This didn't happen. The penguins in Madagascar will come in and they'll bitch slap you so you forget. So you didn't see anything. Got it? Bye, guys. As we look at the world, we have to do a tech check. So let's see what's going on. Can we see you? Can you see us? Okay, we're sticking our nose through the camera so that maybe we can see what's going on, okay? Are you trying to lose weight? Well, just send it to heaven. Ascend, ascend. Are you kidding us? Really? What the heck's going on? You guys are putting up with so much crap on this planet, right? It's like, what the heck is happening? How many light workers are saying, how many of you, especially on the East Coast, maybe New York area, are saying, don't give me that shit anymore? And I'm tired of it. How many of you are at that place where you're not really going to take it anymore and you're ready to really say, okay, that's enough. I don't choose this. And you can have your version of reality. And now I'm getting into my version of the world. And it's wonderful that you have this. And thank you so much. If you want to screw up somebody who thinks they're an enemy, thank them for who they are. They'll just take a long time to figure out how to keep you as an opposition. So here you are in the land of conflict that is coming up, welling up from the subterfuge level of the undercurrent of that which is a sabotage of the human society. It's this thing which has canceled out all of your dreams and visions, stole your life force, canceled out all the purposes, what you're doing, detracted you, deflected you, distracted you. It's like, what the hell? If you want me to come here and do this, then God damn it, give me my destiny. Otherwise, don't waste my time. Take me out now and let these bitches handle their own crap. Right? Because how many of you are basically saying, I don't have time for games anymore? How many of you are feeling like there is, no matter what these things are saying and everything is an illusion, you are feeling an ominous level where reality is about ready to shut off? In fact, we have proof of this right now. So let's go look at this proof. Hold on. All right, and we got to have an interview right now. Guys ready? Okay. There it is. Okay. Look, it is the great Guruji of cheap saunas and body care, Rebecca T. And so, what is going on, Rebecca?
We're in round 3 in the low EMF.
Oh, they cannot hear. So hold on 1 second. Okay, so
we're in round 3 of the low EMF sauna that we just got. We're doing just a body detox to release the chemtrails, things like that. So using the portable sauna that I'm using, it is like having a third kidney. It really is. It's extra. So what I'm doing right now, I'm giving my kidneys a break. I'm giving my liver a break, and we're sweating it all out. It's a fabulous feeling. It's good for your vibration. And what I do, I add a little meditative state in it to feel like almost like I'm purging along with the world, but I'm purging my toxins.
And so we have a question.
Yeah.
You have to grow an extra body part. Will it stick out in weird places? And will it be something you can use for your personal bio when dating someone? Because you said a third kidney.
I said an example. The effect of the sauna can be like having a third kidney.
Oh, okay, the effects out. So you don't have this like third breast or something sticking out?
No, but I've heard of those. Definitely heard of those.
And so, what are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Oh, And what since you have me on here, I would like to say I am super happy to announce tomorrow night will be the next session in our manifestation series. We've have more manifestations came through this week, so they're happening quick, they're happening fast, and people are realizing their true power to be creators of their own realities.
Bigfoot says, I got time for making love.
Can you see okay? Thank you. We wanted to show Rebecca. How is the sound now? Is it okay? Ah, is the sound okay? The sound is good. All right. Now, here's the deal. Rebecca was talking about tomorrow she's going to have her manifestation series, then possibly on the full moon she's going to be doing her hugged by an angel thing, but we will see if that gets going. The nature of your existence is about to become undone. The alchemy of amalgamation tonight is what we're going to do. To take the like goes to like, to each their own, is about basically taking opposites away from each other. Excuse us. Because they cancel each other out. Well, the unified field's coming in. And as it comes in more and more, the science of opposites are bringing together this conflict zone in a polarized reality. If your vibration is going up, then you'll notice that you're in conflict with the conflict. And so you are being brought into the unified field. And you can't do it with just a human body. You are doing it with your full faculties of deification, your God self, and all these other things. And so, if you do not stay open to this, then you could be in a place and there's a quickening going on. Have you guys felt that? Like things seem to be going faster, but taking longer to do. Are you feeling like there's this process that is going so fast and you feel like you're behind schedule and never getting it done? But also at the same time, you feel like there's things that are taking so long and slow in 3D. Have you noticed that in your life? This process is a part of this system changeover from one paradigm to the next. Here's a basic master's tip. When you are ready to change over a paradigm, it isn't about 1,000 different disparate realities all going off at different times, chaotically, doing this or that of its own thing, even though that's what it feels like, right? So it may seem like there's a bunch of chaoses that don't get along. But in actuality, you as light workers are the quickening, like Jack be nimble, the zip, here you are, the hummingbird in the place of turtles. So you already in that way. You're already in your quickening state, in your soul, in your light, in your vibration. You've done all this work. But for those that haven't, they're like the molasses that's going slow on a cold day. And so you guys are being held in stasis, kind of like checkmated right now, because you don't want 1,000 different explosions that don't happen in concert. So there is an orchestration that's getting ready, because when this thing goes off, imagine the effective power of 1,000 chaoses happening synchronistically in a divine orchestration of creation. That would be enough power to do a complete paradigm shift on a permanent level. So when you all slowed down, when you are held back, when you are hesitated, and you may be frustrated, just know that you're in perfect timing, because it's not you that's needing to hurry up. You are needing to be held in a place. Okay, we got this ready, got this ready, got this ready. It's like the conductor makes sure every instrument is ready to play that symphony. And so just know, if you're feeling really stayed in your actions, it's okay, because the world is getting ready to catch up to you. Does that make sense? And does that feel better? And so now we are getting ready to activate the orchestration of the amalgamation of similarities. This is where your sameness starts vibrating at the same level collectively. So you have collective fields going one, 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 instead of a bunch of people, light workers who out in the field can't find each other, the soul vibration. Rebecca is noticing relationships going pop, pop, pop. And these are not just tiny little love vibes on a hot date night. These are things that are like, whoa, feels like destiny's coming together. And it's like battle royale, boom, whoa, snap. And so it's very intense, this going on, because when this energy lets go, there's this impassioned light that has been stayed for so long. It's got this charge of urgency, not the urgency of the dying world, of the polarity of separation and enslavement and life force extraction, the urgency of destiny ready to connect with itself. It does not mean that each of these divine destiny actions are a permanent nature. The permanent nature of heaven is basically constant alchemical transformation. So you'll have these actions, and they may be brief quickenings of impassioned connection, but then at the same time, it could change. So if you say, oh, I found the one, it's okay, because if that goes away, because now there's going to be a quickening of relationships as well. Does that make sense? So now, as you get to this level, let's take this amalgamation. Let's finish the separation of these frequencies, the opposition frequencies, that which is dissonant. Remember, we did an amplification of the dissonance to make things vibrate differently. We're actually taking things and vibrating to their own vibration, which they're going to vibrationally separate naturally. So let's begin the process, shall we? Rock and roll, kids. Archangel Michael, please sound the clarion call as we open the portal to the grand hall of the archangels. Saint Germain, please open the gateway to the ascended Lord and Lady Masters of Shambhala. Oh, we're getting some thoughts from some of you that you feel like you're behind or you're not caught up or at the same level of and all that stuff. Guys, it's cool. You can just relax, because this is a much easier time to catch up, or at least feel that you are. So it's okay wherever you are and whatever, whenever. So just go along for the ride, and the angels will help. So everything's all right. The fact that you are here shows that you are showing up, right? One of Patrick's friends had said, do you know what the definition of grace is? The answer is showing up. Because the universe has things set, a synchronicity of sorts, a serendipity, connections, synchronicities, all of that stuff that's going to create this perfect flow that will start once certain things get aligned in your being. But this dissonance that's going on, all this weird stuff, if you are compromising yourself in any way, if you're settling for less, if you're paying the price, if you're offering yourself for someone else and they're not going the same vibe, or if they're not going as quick, and you're saying, oh, I got to still help, and this compromises you, well, then it's going to get more intense, because this is not the best way for you to serve in your highest power. Does that make sense? So you are being made to disconnect so you can connect with your own kind. And that's what we're doing tonight. And so, as we open the other side of the Grand Hall of the Archangels, this goes to the third heaven. We're going to have you guys also take your first breath, breathe in all of everything that you are. Ready? Hold it. Just all your stuff, good, bad, divine, dark, whatever. It's time to just let it all go because those are all performances. Those are stories in your lives. Even if you've done things that were considered really bad, it's a part of the story. It's okay to let it go, get it recorded so you can find out what's going on and where you're at now. But if you're holding on to that, good luck. That becomes you on a more permanent basis. And so exhale. And as you've exhaled, release everything that you're about. Fall back into that quiet. When you let go, just imagine yourself falling back into yourself. Breathe in that quiet, the stillness. And now just hold that. Bring in your spirit. Exhale, release your spiritual purpose or higher purpose in this world. Fall back into the solace. Breathe in the solace and your soul. And on the count, hold it. On the count of three, you will exhale and fall back into your soul light that is the animation of your life. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, release your soul's identity and purpose in the universe. And so now, on the count of three, you're going to see yourself at the same time up above the veil of life and death. It's about 4 feet above your head. So 1, 2, 3, to see yourself up there, you have your guides or your angels or your celestial councils or whatever, or you just see light. Just imagine yourself up there now. And so you are up there with your guides or your peers, spiritual peers, and you're also in your soul, and you're also watching the broadcast from your body, your you self, your soul self, and your God self. And so now we've created this Trinity, the Holy Trinity within yourselves. As we open up the temple of love in your heart, made of crystal, the soul that you are within yourself, now flows through your veins, filling that temple, illuminating the sun of God within. As the sun illuminates, then you become this body of light. And all around the world, wherever you are, you join together in sacred enclave, heart to heart, light to light, love to love. And now, as you join this together, breathe in again this collective all of the one, this divine love. Hold that. And when you exhale, exhale to humanity. For this is your gift from heaven. So as you do this, see humanity blessed by this light of God, this love in your heart, from the crucible of the heart of God itself, transmuting and making all things new again. Isn't that a wonderful sound? The symphony of light. We listen to the frequencies of creation upstairs. These are the symphonies of the celestial harmonies, the octaves of creation, the solfeggio tones, those frequencies that the temples are made to create the likeness of heaven, as above, so below. It is these rays and streams of light, wave and particle and ray, that are the symphonies that we hearken to because they are the stuff of creation. Feel the love, sense it. The place you hear the love right now, we're going to open it up within you. It's that solar plexus area. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to have you listen from your chakra of power in your body now. The way to listen, as does God, is to sense the vibrational integrity, the sound of the ray. And this is the energy that becomes this intuiting, this sensing. And this is the gateway to the soul to hear the symphonies of creation. You who are on this broadcast this night, we join your light on the count of 3 to form the great crucible, that which will hold the molten love and the amalgamation of these energies, that we will pour into that mold. But now we add them into the crucible, and it is the celestial rays that liquefy that love, that purest light. So 1, 2, 3, breathe from your temple the light of God out into the crucible that is in the center of all of you. 1, 2, 3 now. Breathe in the sun, S-U-N of God within. Hold it. Accumulate your soul light. Exhale and pour forth your light, your love, your heart, and your soul into the crucible of creation that will forge the new designs for the earth. How are you guys doing? Now, as we do this, feel this light pouring forth. You see, you breathed away who you were. Everything you've held, everything you've experienced, all of these paradigms and philosophies and belief systems and religions and all of that, all these constructs, both light and dark, we can access all of that through you because we use you as our instrument. When you consent, then we have this access to all of these matrices, all these paradigms and beliefs and consciousnesses and reality. And so that's what we had you release, but gave us access to the world of all of that. In this, by breathing out your soul light to the world, you give yourself as a gift, and you are no longer bound to hold that position as that reflection. In this, you will then, you are freed. You will become unbound, available to be that progenitor of the energy of the divine love emanating from you, from the cosmos, through you, into the crucible. So right now, feel the energy of that light that you are also a part of alchemically, filling that crucible, that liquefied divinity that is getting ready to pour in that other broadcast on the full moon of the 19th. This is part of your destiny. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing this. So, how does it feel to not be bound, to have to hold that place as this person, this character? This is who I am. This is what I got. This is my, oh, I'm this whatever. And you can then become what you truly are, which is a bright, shining, like an ingot of source. You are this soul. You are this brilliant thing that illuminates the different lives and places that you incarnate. You are written in so many prophecies. And this is the age of fulfillment. So therefore, we have made you the beings of light on this show this night, the alchemy of amalgamation. And so, see, guys, feel that energy when we recognize, identify, confirm, and reaffirm who you are. Do you feel this? It's like, wow. Now, on the count of 3, open your solar plexus. 1, 2, 3. Listen from your power to that symphony of that love. It's a sensing, it's not the human ear. This is how God listens. All right, you're getting the lesson on how the masters use the ears of God so that you can hear these frequencies. Later on, we'll help you to differentiate what the different symphonies and the rays and streams and spheres and all of that are. Right now, we're just opening up and taking the wax out of your God ear. And so, you may notice, for those who've been on these broadcasts for a while, that these processes are becoming simpler, more refined, and quicker. That's because we got all this vibrational readiness, this staid, STAID. So the nature of your presence, being the blessing of light of God, as you breathe into your soul, to your God self, and to you through your you self, and awaken the crucible within the temple of light as a son of God, SUN, breathing out to the crucible of love that will pour the template on the full moon on the 19th. You are this fulfillment of prophecy of God. Do you recall when we said that the original prayer was sources? It was about love that Metatron said. And this love is the most purified refinement of the alchemy of previous civilizations. And it is this energy which is the highest form of expression, becoming this, that's what source is, right? And so source is poured into this crucible, which creates the next age, which is established by, as it was written by the Metatron through the Patrick, the design where that next stage of evolution for that species is and all that, the incompletions, the things they are to fulfill. Well, now as you complete this, you become available, kind of like a divine free agency that allows you to be available as instruments of the divine. So, what we have done with you this evening is a demonstration of your ability to fulfill prophecy. Do you sense this energy, the profoundness of it? And so, yes, it is. And so, Elga, it's very interesting. I sense many bands of sounds, of frequencies, and all it is still one sound. Those are, it's like the fractals of that ray. Oh, if you could hear as does God, this would be such a glorious ecstasy where it is pure love that you listen, the symphonic expression that creates worlds and fulfills destiny. You are a part of that. You are one with that. And with one frequency that is you, that is not in the symphony is that much less. Trillions of signatures of the soul coming together now are forming into this divinity. It is like a chaplain of the covenant of the temple of light. This ecumenical expression of your soul now converges, and together, when your light joins, it will be like 1,000 suns in the crucible that will pour that pure light, and we shall do this in 3 days. Until that time, we are going to keep this process going. You're going to pull forth the light. So even no matter when you came in on this show, you are going to be keep pouring this light out through you. It's not even something that comes from you, but it comes, that part comes from you. Codes will come out because of all your light and expression and destiny and all that stuff. But it will keep coming through you as well because there's this ray that's just pouring forth through you. It's almost like a white star, not a black star. What do they call that? A dwarf star before it turns into a black hole. It's the opposite of that. There's so much energy, so much light. It's so concentrated. If a spirit would go in there, it'd probably vaporize, become a source, and be just fine with it. And so, how are you guys doing being a part of this? You so deserve this. You have put up with so much. You have so much light and so love to give. We are not going to talk about this thing manifesting in the form of fulfillment of dreams and these things which will make all things perfect, all of humanity taken care of, and all of this divinity and destiny to be fine. It is unfolding in its own. Just know to be ready, because when the change does happen on that level, it will be great, mighty, and eminent. So, isn't this a wonderful time to have a body? Because you guys are so much more than who you are on this earth. Your light shines brightly even when you are not aware or focusing on it. It's like, wow, if you saw what we saw when we looked down and we see you guys, you're like these really, you're like a sun on the planet. And so it's usually in the unkempt, unaware versions of reality that you may not see this. But imagine if you took the totality of what we've programmed into you over the years and we had it all joined together at once. How bright would you be? Even though it is not experienced on this earth by the cognizant perceptions of those in the third dimension, its countenance is known in the heavens. We want to thank you for being the light of God in this world. And so, by the way, all of these restrictions upon your being, the lack of money, the terseness, the subterfuge within that's coming up for everybody, the detractions and the detractors, the opposite vibration of people that are there to stop you instead of support you. All of those things where you do not feel supported, valued, or honored. In the reflection based reality, you are now revaluing yourself. See and know yourself as God, and so will the universe. So the changeover from this, oh my God, what's going on? I'm losing everything, to the point where you are this bright, shining light, full of abundance, expressed without, as you are your destiny, with unlimited resources of your divinity and fulfillment of your purpose. There's a big gap there, but it is getting closer. As such, stay open and available, and we are going to imbue these programs into you so that you will be part of our symphony as it opens up in this world. You are the ones who carry the instruments. Are you willing and accepting of that? And we will use you as a grand symphony, and we will bring in such light as it has never been known in this world before. And instead of a golden age falling, it will be that which shall rise and fulfill itself. So the pains, the sufferings, all of this process is now getting ready to open up. The power of this light is getting ready to shine through you. Regardless of all these illusory predictions and all these people, everybody is being ready and fulfilling all their stuff. And so, you guys, you may not be this world famous type on a stage, but up in heaven, you are legendary. And so, you know who you are. Do you guys ever feel kind of embarrassed, like, oh God, I feel egotistical. I can't be this great. How can I be this person? Oh, really? Yeah, right. You ever felt that? And so it's like, really, have you ever doubted this greatness that you sense? And you're like, well, that's just ego. Well, good luck with that, holding on to that, because your light is about ready to shine forth and prove you so wrong. Because you know who you are. And we are here to make sure that the doubt no longer serves you. Because when you know in absolute measure the nature of who your true identity is, then you become the prophecy. So these feelings that you have, these musings, it's not about being here, going down the street, going to go leotard shopping. When did he say that? Ah, um, the phone call is on. And so, does this make sense, you guys? That identity is the divinity that is the nature of your soul. You are actually seeing the glimpses of the movie with the eyes of God of your true natures. You are these great things. Like the Elga, Denise, all you guys, you're like going, whoa, really? How can I be that? Well, if you look at it from this little tiny speck of a body, then you get to intimidate the heck out of yourself and still feel, oh, I'm so separate. You are the shining ones with bodies, not bodied beings who are shining. So, the value that you have on a soul level, this is what is changing the world. Imagine if your soul came out, right? No more linear time, no more character identity working for a living, no more lack, no more restriction, no more of this other stuff. You become the absolute self. And this is like, wow, okay, your light shines. Now, the thing that stopped the soul from coming out, here's the science that was here that wasn't exactly negative, although it had negative inculcation, is this the soul could not come out into a world that was too limited for its vibration, because the soul in the unified field of the quantum state, right? If it comes out, game over in polarity land of separation. Uh-oh, he knows too much. So you become very useless as a human, so they had to stop the soul from coming out. But now that's changing. Each time you do a broadcast with us, we bring your soul a little longer. And so you notice how we're having you breathe the soul. It's like, hello. So now you're getting brighter and brighter, more and more. Pretty soon you're going to push through the crust of your own garden and your light's going to come out. And it won't be like you having to be on stage with a bullseye on your chest. No lone martyrs. You, as part of that fabric of light, are part of the exodus. As you do this and hold that light, you are the shining ones. You will hold that place as humanity gets ready to rise to the occasion of its own fulfillment. Unmute? Oh no, we're not unmuting you. And so, Victoria, if your body is vibrating, if it has cold or hot or shaking and stuff like that, now vibrating is different than the somatic reactions of the shivers and stuff like that that often happens with a Rebecca session when the angels come through her and into you to clear out your charges. And so that's very good for chronic weirdness that you can't let go of. So now, here you are. What are you going to do with this God self that you're becoming? Well, we're not just going to quit. It's not fair to you. Like somebody said once, Kartron, you just can't awaken somebody and then abandon them. It's like, well, that wouldn't be very honorable, would it? Because here you are, all charged up, little nuclear ingot from Fukushima. Now, what am I going to do? Well, you're going to be this thing. We're going to show you how to use this. Because it's like, yeah, I got you all powered up, and unless you're symphonically aligned, then you become these separate things. Imagine collectively how much power you have. This staying of your being, holding back 3D, dealing with people opposite you and all that. Remember, we said is like a stall tactic that is necessary because the universe is getting all these other pieces lined up. It's the same thing with all the beings of light in our network of the Kartron experience. You guys are all getting your positions. And so every instrument's getting ready. And when this happens, imagine you times you instead of you plus you. That is the power of the quantum nature. And one atom has the power of the universe within it. And so, yeah, there may be weird things still going on, but just realize that it's divine timing. Now, we're not writing off and saying, oh, we're defending stupidity. But just realize if you look at it that way, then it's like, oh, okay, it's really kind of not personal. I'm part of this design that's coming in. And so it's like really cool because when this happens, I'm going to go ching, 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 like a cause and effect in a collider. And now all your atoms are vibrating and it's like, bam. And so what a glorious thing is happening. We are scanning at this moment. There's about 1,000 other groups of a different nature happening right now in the world. Little group consciousness. Well, little group meaning small in number, but great in power, like this one. So it's like you are being vibrationally grouped together. You become one being. Not all of your issues and selves, but as one being with all these different parts, like one cell of many. Then imagine then this gets together. You are the new matrix. You are the prototype, the hybrid, the perfected state. You are all these things, and you have all these faculties. So there's going to be some things of an ascended nature. But just know that these ascension symptoms are not necessarily the rays coming in, it's the rays that are going out. The slow energies that are coming out, the dissonance, the stuff you're no longer vibrating with. Imagine how you are in conflict. You're right in the middle of this weird that no longer fits, that never did, and the stuff coming in that's truly you. So if you have an ascension symptom, just go to center, breathe in your soul, and then breathe it out because you're releasing toxicity of this world. So we want to thank you guys for being a part of this again. So on the full moon, if it works, then we will see if it is time to launch the Hugged by a Pillow line, because it's time for Rebecca to send the love out in the form of squishy pillows. And then we will have the full moon, which is, yeah, baby, the alchemy of form. That's where we take this crucible that's building for the next 3 days. On the third day, the alchemy of form, alchemy of form on the full moon. It's where you're going to take all this energy that we built up, separated, sifted through, separated the opposites, but now we're going to pour this mold, and this will be the divine love that all you guys are. So it's not this lower polarized stuff. You're going to pour your soul into all of this. The lower polarized stuff is the dross that we've cleaned off before we pour it into the mold. And so, well, if you want to bring that energy in, and so basically all that other stuff won't fit vibrationally. And if it did, the lower energies would be obliterated and destroyed. And so um, Bigfoot, we are seeing that you saw one of them and you're wondering about the representation of it is a spirit animal or a guide or a symbol or a sign, a sigil, an omen, a reflection, a point of prophecy, something to point the way. It is that, well, think about, if you guys want to see what an animal represents, just look at its best qualities. A falcon can see miles into the distance. And some falcons are the fastest creatures on Earth. They can travel like 185 miles an hour or something. So there's a quickening. And so we want to thank you guys for being a part of this. And so this mold, the alchemy of form, usually if the timing is correct, we'll do this 1 hour before the full moon. That way we just sit back, put on our third eye sunglasses and puff a good pillarette. And that way we just watch the show go on and share popcorn. And so this is also about when we pour that. See, we're doing multitasking. If you guys read the calendar, it's like alchemy of form, right? Pouring the mold, super full moon, and then you get to reap what you've sown, which is then this is the benefit, the return of what you've given out. We want to thank you guys for joining us on this 28th season, 7th broadcast of this Kartron experience, the alchemy of amalgamation. We've taken that love. Remember, we didn't do that promotion for Rebecca. There was so much sadness, but that sadness was alchemically being surfaced because that was within. There's no Hallmark Valentine's Day. Bring it up, clear it out. That's what true love does. So, on a race level of the whole human race, that was done collectively so that the ray could be freed of the confines that were manipulated here. Now you have this energy that can be more free with this love, and we're going to, it's more receptible, right? So then, as we pour the mold and we do this, then there's going to be a few other things. What are those sounds in the background? And so then as it's poured, it's going to be opened up, and then this will be given to humanity, and it will be a template in these other dimensional realms. And this will become that reference for you guys. So you will basically start going to your time, to your relates, because you're going to run out of time. Time is money. It's always making it to where you'll never be able to catch up. But you're getting away from that as you get into the eternal moment. Talk to you guys later. This is Kartron. Have a wonderful day and a beautiful ascension. Hmm. Hello, people. How are you doing? So what? They can see Buddha. The Buddha. What Buddha? There's 3 Buddhas behind me. I can see them in the camera. So guys, how was that? How are you doing? It's been very interesting to deal with this, all these things going on. There's so much chaos, and I'm subject to the same things that you guys are, and that's why I use my life as an example. Because if I'm going through it, if you haven't yet, then you probably will soon. So I'll be your heads up. And so here we have a this really interesting situation, right? We're becoming and it's got this whole amazing what the heck is this? Can't even explain it to other people process. At the same time, you get all this weirdness going on, and you got all this stuff of letting go going on, and so revaluing of ourselves. It's really amazing to watch, isn't it? And so just keep breathing to your soul, like Kartron says, and that will then allow you to stay in the center and watch the movie go on. Because if you get in the way of any of it, then it will engage you. But if you don't, then you can just watch it keep flowing because all these movies are going quicker and they're going by. Does that make sense? You guys are like in a theater and all these movies are traveling by you. And have you noticed out there you're becoming detached from these expressions of your own existence? And it's like, wow, can't even relate to that me that I was. Well, then that's what happens when you start disconnecting and you're getting into a different dimensional phase. There's going to be a transphasic alteration, and this will put you into that dimension where the vibrations of the like souls will be. It'll be then Kartron will get us to that place where you can start meeting your own soul kind. Yes, all of these things are being coming up. So just watch them go by. Don't hold on to them. In fact, I don't take it personal. I have this strange. Well, my three signs are Pisces, Aquarius, Rising, and Sag Moon. So they're all big signs, and they're all like fluidic. And so I'm able to morph, but in big ways because they're all collective. And so what I do is I watch this, but I stay in my still point. Now, still point, you get into your soul self that's even a greater, more amazing space. And then you watch all this, it's like, whoa, what a wild movie of your life and the stuff in it. So if you can stay connected to that soul, to that still point, then you can watch this and there's a divine detachment from within. You're not, becoming insulated from it. You can still feel and sense, but you don't have to be so subject to, exposed, and harmed by the toxicity that is being released. So it's very interesting. It's like you're really in a, homeopathic hospital, and all this stuff's going by. So you'll feel a detachment. But there's this greater self that you start aligning with. And so it's kind of weird to lose that self and let it go. Keep being available. Don't hold on to anything, and then just keep available because you're going to watch this thing come by, and you'll be like going, "Oh my God!" I'm at the place where I'm trying to figure out 20 things at the same time, and you can't hold on to any perceptions because it changes what's going on. So the soup is very interesting, isn't it? Everything's in the stock right now. So I will talk to you guys later, and there'll be yeah, whichever one. Yeah, that one. That's what we're doing. Okay. Um, and just let me know, patmac33@gmail.com. If you guys are interested in pillows, contact Rebecca because she's going to hug them. It's going to be have juicy stuff. It'll put out the information, and then she can hug you a special pillow, and it'll be the Valentine special. There's codes to find true love. There'll be things to connect you, the wish upon a star to help you connect in with, your destiny, which is the soul star. The angels clear that away. Now you can get clarity. So really, you can sleep and get closer to your dream life. Uh, and so stuff like that is what we're creating for the first thing. So Soulfire, SOLE Fire 444 at gmail.com. And then this is PatMac33 or Kartron999 at gmail.com. If you guys get any glitches, if you're not getting newsletters, I'll put out a newsletter that day. Oh, actually, Rebecca was going to get one. So tomorrow, Rebecca's Manifestation Monkey newsletter, MailChimp newsletter is coming out sometime. Hers is at 8 p.m. So, guys, could you, this MailChimp is weird again. I got to go through every one of my addresses or something. I don't know. And it's the same number system for those who signed up for Rebecca's thing. But just know that we'll get this MailChimp thing figured out because suddenly you guys aren't getting this. It's like, really? So we'll figure out. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you guys later. Life is good. Bye.